Hello and welcome to our August update here at Revesby Estates and on the farm. So August has been mainly all about the harvest, and to harvest we need to have good conditions weather-wise. So this month actually we've only had 20 mil of rain. Traditionally you will find August is the wettest month of the year because you have big storms come through which can drop an inch at a time, but luckily 1 month of the year we've had the weather on our side, and that's been August. We've had a high temperature of 31 degrees and we've had a low of 6.6. All in all, the weather has been in our favour and it has allowed us to get some good harvesting days in. The whole harvest team has been working hard. Not had much time off during August because the weather has been so good. However, we have managed to get most of our harvest completed. All the crops are in that are fit. Also, the Fendt combine has performed very, very well indeed. We all like it very much. A lot of capacity. It's meant we've been able to get on with harvest very, very well. So let's take a look at what we've been up to during August. So it's Sunday the 11th of August, about 6:30 in the evening, and the lads are still busy at harvest. As it was Sunday, they were working outside the Red Lion pub here at Revesby. So they had a little break, a well-deserved break for a quick Sunday lunch. So now they're back at it, working late into the evening, getting this wheat in. Tristan's just on his way back to the yard, he's got a full load, and Zach's on the combine. We're actually laying this wheat in swaths. It's due to be baled by Paul and Ian Tuplin, because this is coming sugar beet next year, so this will get a light cultivation. So the straw is being taken off to allow us to get that cultivation and then a cover crop in. So this field has been a trial field all year. Zach's currently cutting one half, which has been done by Agri using a lot of technology, a lot of sensors in the ground, a lot of disease prediction, predicting when nitrogen should go on, and doing tissue tests to look at what nutrition should be going on. So we're cutting that half to get the yield data off it, and then we'll compare it to the other half, which is farm standard, our normal approach, again using tissue tests, but a lot more sort of broad acre, normal T1, T2, T3 timings, whereas this side's only had a 2 fungicide program, ours has had the 3. So it'll be a really interesting trial to compare the inputs versus the outputs, and we'll see which one was the winner. Little addition on the end of the spout there, that little scoop firing it back, that is to make sure that we hit our 10-metre controlled traffic, so the tractor and trailers can sit perfectly on their wheelings, and they see the grain just hits it and gets swooped back so it lands in the middle of the trailer. Zach can alter the angle then away or to him if needed, but that just allows everybody to sit perfectly on their 10-metre controlled wheelings. Nice picture with a church in the background. Zach's just heading into our Marifat peas. These are the peas what you make mushy peas out of. First time growing for us. This is where this new header really comes into its own. Being able to pick the peas off the floor. So I'm out again with the flat lift, trying to repair some damaged land. The rest of the team are away carrying on with harvest. So this was a winter wheat field what we're in. This sits on our low-lying land. Some of this land is around sea level. Now, you'll remember back in October, so the autumn and the winter has been horrendously wet. We ended up having 150 millimeters of rain in one day in October. That was 2 days after this field was actually drilled with the winter wheat. So that weather pattern has done a lot of damage to the land and to the way we farm. If we just take a look at this field, see what we're driving through, you can see the stubble, what's been harvested where the wheat was, but then you can see all these green patches through here. There's a bare patch through here. As we look around everywhere, you can see it all. And then behind us, that's basically where the water was stood, because we just couldn't get the water away quick enough. You couldn't help it. The land then got flooded. It's then impacted on the crop because it had only been in the ground 2 days, meant a lot of that seed swelled and burst and was no longer viable. Also slugs were loving the conditions, and so they were eating the crop as well. But the main damage is done. This soil is very silty. It's a silty clay loam. That silt will move within the soil profile. The water will literally pull it through. It then settles out and it goes like concrete. Roots cannot get through it. So we don't normally cultivate. Had it been a normal year, I wouldn't have to be cultivating, because the way we've structured the soils, the roots normally keep that silt from settling out. However, such adverse conditions means we've had to revert to the flat lift. It's taking some pulling. The flat lift literally just eases the land up and then drops it again, and it fractures it and cracks it. You dig down with your spade, you find the level of compaction, you set the flat lifts to the wings just underneath that compaction layer, lifting and dropping. So that's all we're doing here with the machine on behind us. I'll show you a slow-mo of it. Here we go. So there you see, lifting, dropping the land, just putting the fractures back in. So when we put another crop in, the roots can go down. So the weather patterns really have hit us hard. Not only has it impacted our yield, this area of land around here, the wheat here, has only done half its normal average wheat yield. Wasn't worth ripping it out because we would have had to incur the cost already. We then would have had the cost of putting another crop in it, and potentially because of how wet it was, we could have damaged the soil even more. So it's a cost we've had to bear. Now we are direct drill, we do not cultivate the soil. However, the damage of the weather on this particular land type here is so extreme, we've had to bring the flat lift in just to rectify it. But we're not mixing oil soil around, only lifting and dropping, and hopefully we're going to get a cover crop back in here, because this is coming spring out, and then we can get the root network going again, bring the soil back to life. That's the plan. Fingers crossed, Mother Nature's kind to us going forward. So you join me now. We are rolling the dice again, and we are putting some oilseed rape in the ground. Rightly or wrongly, it is a crop which is becoming increasingly hard to establish. Once you've established it, to actually get it through the season to a crop is getting harder and harder. However, we keep learning and we keep trying, so we're having another go at growing it. So yes, I've got the avatar on the back. I've got the Grange toolbar in between, just taking my intermediate wheelings out, and we are putting some rape in the ground. So we will jump out and go and have a look what it looks like. Here you can see, if we look, here's the track of the tractor, and then behind we've got the two legs to pull out. We're actually sat on one of our tram lines, you can just see there. So these are the wheelings what the sprayer will run on around the season, so we don't want to rip these up. But here is the actual point, low disturbance point. It's got a small wing on it because it's not going very deep. We're only just going under the surface, taking out the small compaction layer. One here, one here. The discs on the front here just spin to create a slot, so we don't get too much boiling. By that I mean we don't get too much lifting and bursting out of the soil. We put a fracture point in so the pressure of the soil can escape. So that is the Grange toolbar, and then we've got the horse avatar drilling the actual seed rape. Now we've got 3 hoppers, 1 hopper, and we've got 2 hoppers and 3. we've got 3 products going on here. Let's just take a look. So the first hopper on top here has got the oilseed rape seed. There you can see it. Small seeds. That is the actual oilseed rape seed itself. And then on top here, sorry about the wind, a little bit of breeze today. This first hopper here, we've got a fertiliser going on. Just to give it a bit of starter fertiliser, a bit of phosphate in with it, get it up and going. And then this hopper here has got the buckwheat in it. So buckwheat is going in as a companion. You can see all the way down, quite a long way down. A little bit left, nearly ran out because we've only got a little bit of this field left to drill. So yeah, the buckwheat is what we call a companion. It is a companion to the oilseed rape. The idea is that we have this pest, the flea beetle. The buckwheat gets going quickly, smothers the ground and hopefully smothers the rape out, so pulls the flea beetle a little bit. That's the idea. It's also very good at scavenging phosphates out of the soil. The first frost we have will kill it off, and therefore it release the phosphate, cycle it round to the oilseed rape. So yeah, we'll just take a look at the back of the avatar here. 10 metre wide, 10 metre controlled traffic, distribution head. So what is actually happening, you can see these silver tubes running here, these tubes just here. You see the metering unit here and another metering unit there, and on the front tank here is the metering unit here. So it's metering the seed, drops it in here. You then got inside here, you can't see it, but there's a fan, and that is blowing air down these tubes around here, and then it's blowing air all the way down these. The seed gets dropped into the airflow, so air is carrying the seed all the way along to here, then blown down here, up the distribution head, and then down these tubes to each of the coulters. So let's take a look now just down here. So I've come to a sudden stop just so we can see what's coming out of these coulters. So here, if we have a look, you can see the blend of what we were just looking at. You got your fertiliser, and if we look closely you can see the red dots, which is the oilseed rape. Buckwheat's a bit harder to see because it blends in with the soil, but there is just here, for example, you probably can't see it, but on my finger here is a buckwheat. Now it looks like it's all over the place. Like I say, I've come to a sudden stop. It's emptied out on the tubes and it's not had the flow of soil to trap it under the soil. What is actually happening on the drill here, it's dropping it down in a groove created by the disc at the front, and then the packer wheel here is just clipping over and then sealing it. So as we look here, for example, you can just see the disturbed bit of soil here. We move away and we will just have under here. There we go. There is the rapeseed. Here is the fertiliser. So just sat, it's just a little bit of moisture there. Rapeseed sat amongst it. It's only very shallow. It's a very small seed, not a lot of power. Just want to be long before it's up. And then Cole's going to be following behind with the rolls. And the rolls will just push the soil to make sure we get good seed to soil contact and get this rape away. So yeah, we roll the dice again and fingers crossed we can have a good crop of rape. So yes, that's it for this update. Next is our September. September's all about getting things turned around. Like you've seen, we're doing a bit more land work than we would normally do because of the bad conditions what we've had. They will come to an end, and end of September we will start putting in winter barley. The oilseed rape's already in and up and away, as you've seen, and then winter barley followed then by our beginning of our winter wheat drilling campaign. So yeah, we look forward to seeing you in the September update.